Our family trip to Munnar had finally started. As we drove along the highway, our first stop was near Manaparai, at a small tea shop called Tea Time. While taking a short tea break, I noticed an EV charging station nearby, which was interesting to see on a highway stop. Then I showed our Kia Carens, our travel partner for this journey, before we got back on the road. By lunchtime, we stopped at a quiet roadside spot near a closed restaurant. Since the place had an open concrete area, we spread a mat and sat down together as a family. Our car stood nearby, and just beyond it, vehicles kept moving along the highway. With trees around us and the cool weather setting the mood, my little daughter was happily running around near the restaurant. Behind the place where we had stopped, huge mountains stood beautifully under the cool, cloudy weather. The restaurant also had basic facilities like bathrooms and water, which are really helpful during long trips. With open space all around, this stop felt simple, but really peaceful. On the other side of the restaurant, there was wide open land with red soil and fresh farming ground. My relative and I walked around slowly, just enjoying the peaceful space. In the background, the mountains looked beautiful, while a few local dogs wandered around nearby. Then as I turned the camera back, the highway came into view, with cars and buses moving past, adding life to this quiet countryside stop. As we moved further into Munnar, the mountain views became even more beautiful. Everywhere we looked, there were green tea estates covering the hills. Light rain was slowly drizzling, and the cool climate made the whole place feel fresh and peaceful. And the roads were filled with movement. We could see autos and many jeeps passing by. In this area, jeeps were more common because the roads were steep and built for the hills. Standing there and looking around, it felt absolutely beautiful. That was when we met a local guide. He started explaining about the tea estates and told us that many of these tea leaves are processed and exported to different countries. He also explained that the soft top leaves, the tender shoots, are considered the first quality tea leaves. Out of curiosity, I asked him, "Can you show me what a first quality tea leaf looks like?" Crossed through the fence and carefully went inside to pluck the fresh tender leaves for us. After a while, he came back and handed them to me. It was a simple moment, but very interesting. He explained that these same leaves are later dried, processed, and turned into the tea powder we usually buy in packets. When I smelled them, it had a fresh, green, natural smell. My little daughter suddenly ran off nearby, curious to explore more. So we turned and followed her. As we continued driving deeper into Munnar, the tea estates stretched endlessly on both sides of the road. Light rain was gently drizzling, adding a fresh, misty feel to the mountains around us. Every turn looked beautiful, with green hills, cool weather, and peaceful roads, making the journey even more special. While heading towards the waterfall, this drive itself felt like one of the best parts of the trip. As soon as we reached the waterfall area, parking itself was a challenge. After some effort, we parked a little farther away and got down to look around. On both the left and right sides, many jeeps were lined up, ready to head into the hills. The place was crowded, and after seeing the rush, we decided to return and visit another waterfall later. That's when our guide mentioned something interesting. There was an elephant area nearby, with elephant rides and a place where visitors could see them up close. So we changed our plan and headed there with the family. Even there, many vehicles were parked around, and the cool weather made the whole place feel lively and exciting. Everyone was curious to see what kind of elephants were there and how the rides worked. We walked in with excitement, and my little daughter came running ahead, eager to see everything first. As we reached closer, the elephants were calmly eating their food. Watching them up close itself felt exciting. My relative's little boy was especially excited, pointing at them and reacting to every small movement. My daughter was also watching with so much curiosity. There were around 3 or 4 elephants standing there peacefully. Then suddenly, one elephant was brought closer with a rider guiding it. As it slowly came near us, we honestly felt a little nervous. From a distance, it looked calm, but up close, its size felt much more powerful. We stood there quietly, curious to see where they were taking it. There was a riding setup placed on top, and I noticed chains around its legs, likely for control and safety. Even then, watching such a huge animal walk slowly and patiently right in front of us felt both exciting and slightly intimidating. After standing for a while, that elephant moved ahead. Then another elephant came from behind. This one was slightly smaller, but it also had the same riding setup on top. At that point, we understood. They were preparing for elephant rides, so we stayed back and kept watching. When I zoomed in, even its eyes looked different, calm, deep, and powerful. A few minutes later, people started climbing up and sitting for the ride. The cost was around 800 Indian rupees per ride. For us, it felt a little expensive compared to other places. So finally, we decided not to go for the ride. Instead, we just stood there, watched the elephants quietly, enjoyed the moment, and decided to return with that memory. After that, we took a jeep ride to explore more of the area. It felt like a proper off-road experience, with the jeep taking us through rough hill roads and scenic spots. One of our first stops was a hanging bridge. We were told it had been built during the British period, which made it even more interesting. Looking down, there was no strong water flow at that time, though it looked like a place where water would normally pass through. Even without that, the depth below and the old structure itself made it worth stopping and taking in the view. From there, the jeep took us to another beautiful spot, a dam. As we reached the top side of the dam, the view opened up beautifully. There was plenty of water, and when I zoomed the camera from a distance, it looked massive. We could even see people moving around near different parts of the dam. Standing there, watching such a wide view felt really peaceful. This whole jeep ride was like a mini off-road tour. They were taking us from one scenic place to another, and everywhere we stopped, people were busy taking photos and videos. Then came one of the best parts of the ride, a hilltop viewpoint. As soon as we reached the top, it honestly felt like standing above everything. Mountains stretched in every direction, layer after layer of hills, open skies, cool wind and mist. It gave a completely different feeling. There was a big crowd there, and many jeeps had stopped nearby. People were enjoying the place in their own ways. Some taking pictures, some just standing quietly, and some even dancing on the rocks and having fun. Coming from Tamil Nadu, where the weather is usually warmer, the cool climate of Kerala felt refreshing and completely different. The hilltop had a peaceful beauty to it. The next morning, after a good night's rest, we started fresh with one final plan: visiting another waterfall. We reached the water. The moment we stepped in, it felt freezing cold. But after getting fully wet, the cold didn't matter anymore. With the cool climate, mountain air, and fresh waterfall water, it felt incredibly refreshing. After enjoying it, we came back out feeling fresh, tired, and happy. A journey filled with hills, rain, tea estates, jeep rides, family moments, and peaceful memories. Thank you for coming along with us. See you in the next video.